In today's world, many people often wish for fantasy to become reality. Unfortunately, this applies to the more dark and twisted side of humanity also. This case is sick, morbid, and terrifying, so grab yourself a mocha whilst we delve in to the case of the Eunuch Maker. What is a eunuch? The word eunuch derives from the ancient Greek term of eunuch, which translates to bed guard. One of the social functions performed by the eunuchs was to protect royal or aristocratic women's quarters and to serve the women of the court. Eunuchs were also frequently employed as court officials, often of very high rank. Eunuchs typically would have their testicles removed. In some situations, eunuchs would have the penis removed as well. The removal of both exterior sexual organs was known as emasculation. Today, most people are probably familiar with the term from the character Varys from the TV show Game of Thrones. There are between 600,000 and 900,000 modern eunuchs in North America. However, this is mainly for medical purposes like prostate cancer. Other reasons include appearance and trauma. Unfortunately, there are situations where the practice of castration is done for darker reasons, like financial gain and sexual gratification. Meet Marius Gustavson. Originally from a small town southwest of Oslo in Norway, he was a respectable member of the community working as a postal worker and was the head chairman of an LGBTQ charity where he organised many pride events as well as the traditional Rus events. This is a series of parties high school students enjoy before their final exams. This was until he received a suspended sentence in 1999 on fraud charges against a housing cooperative. He then was sentenced to 8 months in prison in 2001, where he was charged with internet fraud. When he was released, he decided to turn his life around and was then married in 2005. After 7 years of normality, the married couple decided to move to the UK in 2012. However, only 4 years later, the marriage ended, which is where Marius's mind took a dark turn. In 2016, the same year his marriage broke down, he recruited a male escort named Damien Burns to remove his penis. Marius described the procedure led to feelings of empowerment and greater acceptance of himself and contentment towards his body. After this, in 2017, he created the website eunuchmaker.com, where he would do crude body mutilation procedures on his male victims that he had manipulated, the youngest being only 16 years old. The website advertised services including castration, penis removal, and the freezing of limbs. Marius, along with 6 other males, would perform obscene surgeries on people in various London flats and hotel rooms without any medical training whatsoever. Marius would video the surgeries and list them on his website as pay-per-views. He would even go as far to auction off the removed body parts of his victims. Sometimes the procedures would go horribly wrong, as you can imagine, and Marius made several 999 calls in which he had heard calmly lying to the operator about how his victims had injured themselves. The website ended up being a lucrative business for him, with an amassed following of 22,800 subscribers, which netted him over £300,000 between the years 2017 to 2021. Subscribers who paid the yearly £100 subscription would be entitled to VIP status, while victims were promised money from the video revenue. The craziest thing about this case, the website was not on the dark web. You could just find it on Google for the entire duration that it was up and running. Gustavson's former friend Andrew recalled Marius had just performed one of his signature procedures in his basement flat when a stranger turned up to buy a penis. He retrieved a jar from a small fridge behind his living room sofa before handing it to the buyer, who paid in cash before leaving. My partner and I were there when a sale went down. We'd never asked about the fridge before, but when Gustavson walked off with what looked like something a bit dodgy, we asked, and he said, "Oh yes, this is someone's penis. It belongs to this nice little 20-something from Belgium." But he didn't come back in with lots of cash. He used the money to buy pizza. It wasn't a lot. Andrews said he was aware of at least 15 procedures that Gustavson had been involved in, including, he claimed, the removal of a woman's breasts. I also know he used to go abroad on holiday to do these things. It was an annual trip. They'd go to Germany and someone would rent out a room somewhere, and it was a group of cutters that would have arranged for people to come to that place, and it was almost like a party. I only know because one year Gustavson couldn't go because he lost his passport and he was angry. I first got involved because Theo was having trouble scaling the site due to the sheer number of visitors to it. The servers were literally struggling to cope. We're talking a site that has 300,000 visitors a week, 10,000 to 20,000 active daily users. When we took a look at the Google Analytics for it, the only country that has never visited it was North Korea. This is a global thing. Marius was not finished with mutilating himself, however. In 2018, he undertook a procedure to have his nipple removed with a scalpel, which he listed on his website. The following year, he willingly had his leg frozen off using dry ice, which he planned, so he could claim disability benefits from the government, in which he claimed nearly £180,000. Throughout this whole time, he had indulged in the act of cannibalism. In some pictures and videos from his website, he is seen eating testicles removed from his victims and sometimes even plating them with salad. Other removed body parts that were not auctioned on the website, Marius kept as trophies. In 2020, someone told Devon and Cornwall police about the procedures carried out on him and provided a USB stick that contained 5,000 WhatsApp messages, 100 images, and several videos. He told police how he had been high on drugs when Gustavson had first cut him with a scalpel at his flat in North London, and how he was strapped to a bed and electrocuted. In later procedures, the man told police how he had his testicles clamped and how Gustavson had used a red-hot iron designed by the victim to brand him with the initials EM, which stood for Eunuch Maker. When police gained knowledge of Marius's website and underground business, they executed a raid on his home. Multiple body parts were found, including his own penis in a drawer in a cabinet next to his bed that had been removed years previously. Marius Gustavson showed no remorse during his sentencing and instead justified his actions. He stated that he wished to put a smile on other people's faces. He wanted to help. He was stuck in a body he wanted to make changes to, and understood there were more people out there who wished to do the same. He had been linked to at least 29 different procedures. He was sentenced to 22 years in prison for 5 counts of grievous bodily harm with intent, conspiracy to cause grievous bodily harm with intent, making and distributing indecent images of a child, and possessing extreme pornography. The others involved were also prosecuted. Ashley Williams, 32, of Newport, Gwent, was jailed for 4 years and 6 months. Peter Waits, 67, of Purley, Surrey, a retired former member of the Royal Society of Chemists, was sentenced to 12 years in prison. Stefan Scharf, 61, of No Fixed Address, was sentenced to 4 years and 6 months in jail. David Carruthers, 61, of Newport, Gwent, was jailed for 11 years. Ion Concur, 30, of Gretna Dumfries in Galloway, Scotland, was sentenced to 5 years and 8 months. Janice Atkin, 38, of Newport, Gwent, who had been completing a veterinary course, was jailed for 12 years. Damien Burns, 36, the man who removed Marius Gustavson's penis and testicles with a kitchen knife, along with Jacob Crimi-Appleby, 23, and Nathaniel Arnold, 48, pleaded guilty to causing GBH with intent. Crimi-Appleby froze Gustavson's leg in dry ice, leading to its amputation when he was only 18 years old, while Arnold part-removed a nipple. Crimi-Appleby was jailed for 3 years and 8 months, whilst Arnold was given a 2-year suspended prison sentence, and Burns was jailed for 5 years. That was the case of the Eunuch Maker, Marius Gustavson. Don't forget to subscribe so you get notified about my next true crime case. And like the video if you really did like the video, and comment down below about any cases you would like me to look into. It might be my next one.